Imagine becoming lost out in the middle of nowhere.
And you stopped and asked 10 different farmers for directions, and yet each one told you to take a completely different road. Now, you can really only draw two conclusions from this. Either all 10 farmers were wrong, or one of those 10 farmers was right. What you certainly could never conclude was that all of them were right. Now, that's just plain common sense. We all know that all roads can't lead to the same destination. So why is it then, when it comes to religion, so many people insist that all roads must lead to God? Every culture has its own herd of sacred cows, things which over time have become accepted as gospel truths that no one dares challenge. And Western culture is certainly no different. One of our sacred cows is a belief that all religious views are equal, that no one belief is better or superior to another. The late British journalist Malcolm Muggeridge once remarked that new news is really only old news happening to new people. Without a doubt, Western culture is clearly unique when it comes to technological innovation. We invent things that no other culture has ever experienced before, and with it, we have transformed our world. Unfortunately, all of this technological success has clearly gone to our heads. We now automatically assume that any idea or belief which becomes popular within our culture must certainly be brand new to all of humanity. Yet while the idea of there being many roads to God sounds very modern and very progressive to us, it is in fact an ancient belief. It is in fact as old as religion itself. Now, just as with any deeply held cultural belief, many Westerners get a little uneasy when you challenge their idea that all religious beliefs are created equal. And in many ways, it's understandable as to why people would think this. In our post-9/11 era, people watch the news and they see Islamic jihadists committing unspeakable acts of violence and brutality because of their belief that only Islam, or their version of it, is the only true road to God. And so many modern people have come to the conclusion that instead of fighting over whose road leads to God, wouldn't it be much better if we all just get along and agree that everyone's road leads there in the end? Now, unfortunately, as appealing as that may sound, it's also completely irrational. It's like saying that the best way to stop children from bickering over what 2 + 2 equals is to simply declare that all their answers are right. Steve Turner probably summed up best the overall confusion of the modern mind concerning religion in his poem, The Modern Thinker's Creed. He penned these lines: "We believe that all religions are basically the same, at least the one that we read was. They all believe in love and goodness. They only differ on matters of creation, sin, heaven, hell, God, and salvation." And that's really the problem, isn't it? As our culture has become increasingly secular, the average Westerner's knowledge of religion in general has decreased to the point where the average Westerner has no appreciation for the vast differences between all the major religions. For can it really be said that a religion which believes in millions of gods is no different from a religion that only believes in one God? Or a religion that propagates itself through war and violence is really no different than one that's strictly pacifist? That a religion which believes in reincarnation is really no different from one that believes that we only live once and then we must face our maker? Or a religion which believes in a caste system is no different from one that believes that everyone is created equally in the sight of God? Religions are simply not the same. And there's nothing intolerant in saying that. Each have their own core beliefs that make them distinct and separate from each other. And these core beliefs are unreconcilable with each other. Yet really, one of the most problematic things of all is how do we as Westerners even know that all roads lead to God? How can we be so sure of this? As a culture, we take it as fact, don't we? It's our sacred cow, something that we're told to believe, but never to question. Well, has God himself told us that all religions are equal in his sight? How do we know that God doesn't, in fact, prefer one particular religion over against all the rest? And so it puzzles me how we Westerners can feel so confident that this is the right way to think about religion, and how we certainly don't have any problem in telling the rest of the world that they should think this way too. Because you see, therein lies the greatest problem of all, the inherent contradictory nature of this belief. For although it has the appearance of accepting all religious viewpoints, it is in fact just as exclusive as all the other religious views out there. The claim that all roads lead to God is a self-defeating one. Its whole underlying premise is that all religious views are equal, that none are better or superior than any other. And yet as soon as you try convincing others to adopt it, what you're really saying is that their view is inferior and yours superior. Because you see, the belief that all roads lead to God, well, is just that, a belief. It is in fact just another road, claiming to be the only road leading to God. Hey there, thanks for watching. You know, one of the most common criticisms of religion is, well, what about all the wars and violence committed in its name? Doesn't this disprove religion? Well, that will be the topic of our next episode, and you won't want to miss it. So please click on the subscribe button. And while you're there, why not check out my other videos? Keep searching.